Hey guys, I'm going to try and give you a few directions and some guidance on how you're going to do the lab today that has to do with, let me look at my to-do list right here. It is, what is the pH of common solutions? So we'll start on our home page here. Now, whether you're in biology or honors biology, you're still going to click the link for modules. We're going to open up the modules. Let me scroll down and find that particular lab. Here it is right here. Lab, what is the pH of common solutions? So go ahead and click on that link and be patient. You'll notice the lab directions are up here on top, and like all the other assignments we've done so far, down below here you will see the Google document. You're going to go ahead and open that up like you normally do. So we're going to hit this pop-out button. It's going to take us to this screen, and it's going to ask us to open with, and we're going to say Google Docs. And here we go. Here is the lab we're going to do today. Now, there is some background information. I would like you guys to all read that before you proceed with the lab, but I'll give you kind of a general summary. pH is a measurement of how acidic something is. You guys have heard the term acids and bases before. You may even be familiar with some of the some common things that might be acids. For example, a lemon juice. Now, pH can be measured. It's on a scale from 0 to 14. Right in the middle is 7. 7's kind of a magic number. 7 is neither an acid or a base, and we call it neutral. Anything below 7 is an acid, and anything above 7 is a base. Now, in the lab today, if we scroll down here to the procedure, you'll see that the very first step in the procedure is asking you to click on this link here to take you to a simulation. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to open it up and click on it. You'll see that the link pops up here. Let's click on that. It's going to open up the simulation in another window. Now, you've had to do this before, but I'm going to show you one more time. You're going to have to enable Adobe Flash, and generally there's a little icon kind of in the middle of the screen. You're going to click on this, and then you're going to click up here where it says Allow. Now the simulation is going to open up here, and you'll see it's got some directions on the side. I'm going to tell you right now that if I click back on the lab, all of these directions you see here and all this background information you see here on the lab is exactly what's over here. So I have just copied it all and put it on paper for you. So you can just simply look at the directions on your lab handout. Now let's go back to our directions. It says type the names of the solutions you want to test into the data table. Let's scroll down here a little bit. Here's a data table. You'll see there's a place here to type the names of the solutions you're going to test. You're going to be asked in a second to predict a value. When you actually do the lab, you'll put the actual value. And then over here, you're just going to simply tell me it's an acid, it's neutral, or it's a base. So let's scroll back up to the directions. Okay, so it's going to say type names of solutions you will test into the data table and predict the pH value. Let's go over to the simulation again. If you'll notice on this table right here, there are 6 solutions, and you'll see this first one is pure water, orange juice, oven cleaner, antacid, stomach acid, and lemon juice. If we scroll down here to the bottom, it's kind of hard to see here, but if you don't like those 6, click reset, and it has an obnoxious sound come up, and it will change the solutions. You don't like those? Click it again. You can click it several times. Pick one of them. That's the key. You're only going to be measuring 6 of these. Now, let's go back to the directions again. Let's see, what did it say? It said predict the pH value of each and record in the table. We're talking about the data table. So let's see, what do we have? We have first 2 are pure water and vinegar. So let's see here. I'm going to type in pure water, and then down here, I can spell vinegar, and we're going to predict the value. Now, pure water, do you think it's an acid, or do you think it's a base, or is it something in between? Let's just say I think it's in between. I'm going to predict a 7. For vinegar, I'm not sure about vinegar. I think it's maybe acidic. I'm going to guess a 5. Now you're going to do this for all 6 solutions. I've only done this for the first two. Let's come back up to the data table. So once we've done it for all six, we've made our predictions. It says use pH paper to test the first solution. Click and drag the end of the pH paper to the test tube, then match its color on the pH scale. Use the up and down arrows in the pH value controller to indicate the pH value. So that's on the simulation. Hey, before we go and do that, I want to show you, here is some actual pH paper right here. And this is a little tray, a little spot wheel. We would normally do this lab in person. If I open this up, you'll see that indeed it is. There's little strips of paper. That is why it's called pH paper. Now, let's go to the simulation. Now, the directions were to grab some of this pH paper here on this little dispenser, and we're going to take it over. We're going to drop it in the first solution. It kind of makes its way over to the side. Now, you'll notice it turned color. If you look at the pH paper container, it's got colors on the side. You are going to match that to the color. So let's drag it over here. Let's see, is it 8? No, it looks more like it's probably 7. So I'm going to come up here to this table. I'm going to click the up and down arrow to 7. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to test the next one, which happens to be vinegar, by bringing it over here, dipping it into the solution, and then dragging it again over to my pH scale here and trying to figure out which one of those it is. Now I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do that, but you're going to do this with every solution. You're going to enter your values in the top up here. Let me just enter some random values in here, and because when you're finished, this is what you're going to have values in each of these by measuring it. Now, how do I know if I was correct or not, or if you're correct? Down in the bottom, it says check, and you're going to click check once you've entered all 6 of those values.
Use pH paper to check the highlighted pH values and try again.
You'll notice that 3 of them are highlighted in red. Those are incorrect. So for number 2, we were incorrect. Let's go ahead and take another piece of paper. Oopsie daisy. Another piece of paper. Dip it back into number 2. And we're going to take it over to the pH scale. And we're going to measure that again. Now, once we've done that, we've got all the values correct because we've checked it and it said they're correct. We go back to our data table. We're going to actually put the correct values in there. And of course, we knew pure water. At least we got that one right. We predicted a 7. It is a pH of 7. And we know that a pH of 7 is neutral. So you'll do this and complete the entire table, make your prediction, find the actual value, and type in either acid, neutral, or base. Once you guys have finished doing that, if you scroll down here, there are just 4 questions to answer. They're very simple questions. Please answer these with complete sentences. Now, if you have a problem working on this, maybe rewatch the video again just to see how we did the steps. Now, again, once you're finished, excuse me, with this, and you've got all your answers, give it a little time to autosave into your documents, and you're going to close that window. You're going to close that window too, and you're going to come back to this screen right here. Now, those changes you made should have shown up in this data table, and the questions you answered should have shown up. Sometimes there's a delay in that too. My suggestion is possibly come up and click the reset button, or excuse me, the refresh button, and refresh the page. And when you're done, of course, you have a little submit button right here on my screen. I can't see it. I'm a teacher, not a student. So you're going to click the submit button, and you're all set. All right, guys, good luck. I'll be here if you need help. Okay, bye-bye.